this goes back to big tech.
Turn on
too.
the microwave.
So you have media.
Biden shits his pants.
Keep in mind, CNN, MSNBC, these people we're talking about, we used to think that YouTube, we used to think that new media would allow, and there was a moment in time where this was true, it allowed people like us, like you, to get past the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Because you can go directly to your audience. But now this wasn't the case 5 years ago. Our consultants, they are on boards. We don't really know who's on these boards, but we know Southern Poverty Law Center. We know that with YouTube, they have community guidelines, advertiser-friendly guidelines, and then borderline.
Yeah.
And you don't really know who's in charge of any of them. We do know that CNN is at least on one. PolitiFact is at least on one.
Yeah.
Washington Post. So now they control what is available informationally to 95% of you in America. If Facebook, Twitter, YouTube decide that you're just not going to hear a story, you're not going to hear about the lab leak.
Yeah.
If they decide you're not going to hear from President Donald Trump, guess what? You're not going to hear from President Donald Trump. And then if he starts a blog, they're going to throttle him in the search on Google. It's run by a handful of people, and I want to show you how complicit they were here with Dr. Fauci. This is also the problem with hero worship. When you look at the people of big tech, and of course, they have to acquiesce to China, right? This is why you look at the censorship of the Hong Kong protests. This is why you look at the censorship of anyone who went against the World Health Organization. This is a group of people. They see themselves, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, the people at Google, Jack Dorsey, they see themselves as kings. You're a plebe, right? That's how they, and so when they say, oh, wait, a medical pandemic, it's not, we want to trust the scientific process, the scientific community, who were split on these theories. It's give unto us a king. And so it wasn't trust science, it was give unto us a king, Fauci. And Fauci didn't know what he believed, but it determined policy and probably why you may or may not have been removed from these platforms. Let me give you some examples here. On March 5th, 2020, Zuckerberg emailed Fauci thanking him for his service and offering to help get the message out. Here's the email. I wanted to send a note of thanks for your leadership and everything you're doing to make our country's response to this outbreak as effective as possible. I also wanted to share a few ideas of ways we could help you get your message out, but I understand you're incredibly busy, so don't feel a need to reply unless these seem interesting. Here's my question, and I'm going to get to the big tech policies in a second. Guys, let me go with this. Can we get an FOIA request? Did he send that out to any of the scientists who are blowing the whistle? Hey, how about the Chinese scientist? Was it Li Meng? I can't remember the name. Yeah. Who left, defected, like Moscow on the Hudson? Did they send that email? Hey, thanks for your bravery. Thanks for blowing the whistle. We would really like to help you. Mark Zuckerberg here, Susan Wojcicki here. Hey, we'd really like to help you make sure that you get this information out because we think it's important for the public to know it. I'd be willing to bet my bottom dollar no. But they wanted to put Fauci on your homepage, who said, don't believe these people who are actually risking life and limb. These Chinese scientists who have decided to go rogue, who have said this is what happened. And by the way, half of the scientific community with whom I'm communicating behind the scenes, don't trust them, trust what I say. And he's got the leaders of the Communist Party on speed dial. When you look at this, the leaders of the Chinese government on speed dial because, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Did Zuckerberg, Dorsey, Wojcicki, did any of them reach out to people who were more qualified than Fauci who were sounding the alarm? We know they banned doctors.
Yeah.
We know they banned doctors. We know they banned one of our videos.
Yeah.
For saying that it went against what? The World Health Organization. Okay, now let's go to Zuckerberg, behind the scenes, kind of an influential guy, emailing Fauci saying, hey, how can we work together? Do you think this may have something to do with the policy? Okay, the net result. YouTube's policy. YouTube doesn't allow content that spreads medical misinformation that contradicts local health authorities or the WHO's medical information about COVID-19. Natural, man-made, Taiwan doesn't exist. Facebook, we remove content that repeats other false health information, primarily about vaccines that are widely debunked by leading health organizations such as the World Health Organization and the CDC. Hold on a second. What does that mean? Because now Facebook has just changed their policy.
Yeah.
They've just said, okay, we'll allow the lab leak theory. I don't think it was a theory, and I don't know why you reached it. Well, I know exactly why. But I'm asking you guys comment. This is important. Just smash that like button if you're watching right now. And God forbid, I don't think we've done anything here that should warrant it being removed. But who knows? Because some of these emails from Fauci that I've just read go against the fucking CDC. Okay? Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I've just read contradicts the guidelines right now, and it's from Fauci. So I don't know the context or if I'm going to be the one left holding the bag. But Facebook said, now that theory is allowed. That theory is allowed in our platform. I don't know about YouTube if they made an official announcement. Well, why was it a theory when half of the medical community and the current sitting president had launched an investigation into it based on probable cause? The only reason you determined that it wasn't a theory is because the Chinese Communist government said it wasn't, and Fauci agreed. And that is a scary place. This isn't just about conservative, centrist. This is about removing voices from the table so that you can't know the truth. And look, wherever you line up on COVID, lockdowns, no lockdowns, masks, no masks, if you've been vaccinated, if you think 4-year-olds need to be vaccinated, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just asking you, left, right, center, gender, queer, don't you think that we would all be better off if the scientists and the president sounding the alarms, saying, hey, this may be coming from a lab. This may be man-made. And by the way, there are some measures that need to be taken. You guys are going in the wrong direction. If they were wrong, how would that hurt a democratic conversation? How would that hurt a free society? Because we now know without any shadow of a doubt that it would have helped in the form of millions of lives saved and potentially an entirely different electoral map.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.